we go. And as you come to your comfortable seat, for those of you who get my email each week, I tend to have a theme that I put on there. And this week is the same theme as for meditation, because I know a couple of you were there for meditation, and that is to find the pause. And that pause, when we find it in yoga, it is, I think of our yoga mats as our laboratory. This is where we work on the stuff that we can then take off of the mat into the world. And this particular laboratory for our physical practice has a lot to do with working on being aware of what's going on inside the body. And the purpose of that is to help us be able to clear away some of the stuck stuff. Doesn't mean we clear it all away. If we have some chronic stuff going on in our bodies, then we might not be able to clear it all away, but we get to kind of wipe the dust off the mirror and see it a little bit more clearly, and see our bodies and our minds and our whole package a little more clearly. And so the pause is that chance to tune in and notice and be aware in this moment. And it's a gift that we give ourselves. So first pause that we'll take is in our seat. So try to make your seat as comfortable as possible. This helps us to be able to see more clearly, right? So as you rest your hands down and lengthen through your sides, draw your shoulder blades onto your back and let your eyes close. And as you take a moment here to feel your breath moving, this is your chance, your opportunity to utilize your breath as that tool to help you sense. Sensing your body in this space. Tuning in with your actual senses. Feeling the connection that you have with the ground or whatever you're sitting on. And take in the details. Notice. Be aware of sensations that are present in the body that might be there showing up as tension or whatever it happens to be. Maybe it's a temperature. And now bring hands to connect at heart center. And with hands at your heart, lift up higher with your heart. Lengthen your sides. Take a full inhale to sit even taller. Exhale to bow toward your heart. And then as you softly open your eyes and release your hands down, you can lift your shoulders up and back and lengthen up through the back of your neck. And now elbows hugging by your sides, and go ahead and find that rotation of upper arm bones here in gratitude. And from this place, move up and down with shoulder blades, like you're shrugging up towards your ears and then drawing them down a few times. As you move a couple more times here, maybe notice a little more opening and expansion through the front of the chest. Maybe there's a lot of tension there and it's hard to find more opening, and that's okay too. It's just an opportunity to notice. And now bring fingertips to connect in front of you. Press fingertips together. Elbows are lifted to shoulder height. And then as you exhale and press back through your upper back, tuck your chin in. Take a big deep breath into that space between your shoulder blades. And then inhale, sit tall. Again, come back to that gratitude arm place. Shoulder blades are engaging. And now take ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. Giving yourself that chance to notice through the sides and the back of your neck. Noticing whatever is there for sensation. Taking in the details in this moment. Keep shoulder blades engaged. Drop your chin down towards your chest. Take a full big breath as you shake your head no toward the ground. And then lift your chin up toward the ceiling. Lengthen through the front of your neck. You can add those little shakes of your head no toward the ceiling if that feels good. Back into center now. One more time with the ballerina arms. Fingertips connect, elbows lift to shoulder height, and push. As you exhale, round back through your upper back, your chin tucks down. Take a big deep breath, and if you'd like to, you can add some movement here side to side through your shoulders, a little sway. Then as you come back into center, sit tall, release your arms, and then you can switch the cross of your legs, coming to maybe the less comfortable cross for yourself. But take a moment to pause and notice how this feels, how it feels maybe a little different, what's going on in your body in this moment. Take a full breath as you press down with your hands, lengthen more. Good, now reach your arms wide and up overhead. Take a hold of your right wrist and stretch over to the left side, rooting through your right sitting bone. Take a big breath into your right ribs. And now you're turning your right shoulder down, getting a little bit more of a diagonal stretch here, reaching through fingertips. Again, rooting through your right sitting bone. Notice through the low back, through the back ribs. What's showing up for you in this moment? Inhale, turn up and open, and switch the hold. Take a hold of your left wrist and stretch to the right. Full big deep breath as you root down through sitting bones. Breathe into your left ribs. Feel that expansion between each rib. And then turn down, find that diagonal reach. Pulling in through the ribs now, expanding into the upper back. Notice even down into the low back here. Full big breath. Then inhale all the way back upright, release your wrists, and bring fingertips down to the ground. Press down with fingers, lift up and open through your heart space. Shoulder blades engage, lengthen through the back of your neck. And now shake your head no. Think of exaggerating a little bit as you turn your head to one side. Your chin moves as far toward your shoulder as possible, and then to the other side. Then back into center now. Walk your hands forward, coming into as deep a forward fold as your body is ready for. And that might mean a prop underneath your elbows here. Might mean elbows to the ground or hands to the ground. You get to decide what that looks like. Take a full, big, deep inhale and extend further forward with your front body. Full, long exhale. And just give yourself that moment to notice, that pause, to check things out, the details of what's there. And now rising up to your hands, we're going to shift forward onto hands and knees. And from hands and knees, let's settle back right away into a child's pose, taking big toes together, knees wide, or you can always take knees narrow here. Your choice. As you settle into your child's pose and let your head rest on something, again, take a couple breaths. You can add little movements here to help you find a little bit more space and length. But then let yourself be still for a moment and pause. Notice. Then inhale, rise up to your hands and knees. And as you root down through palms and fingertips, find that rotation of elbow pits forward. And then push, expand into the upper back. Toes tuck under, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog pose, where you're always welcome to stay on hands and knees instead. But pause and find a little sway. Give yourself a chance to notice the details. It's that moment to notice that gives you a chance to take the healthy actions for yourself. And now work your way forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. You can always have blocks underneath your hands here if you would like. Take an inhale and lengthen part way, extend your heart. Exhale and fold over your legs, as deep a bend to your knees as it helps your low back to feel good. Inhale, lengthen again, long spine. Tilt your sitting bones up and extend forward with your heart. Exhale and fold. And now hands to hips. Press back on hips, lift up with shoulders and elbows, and then rise all the way up to stand. And as you come up to stand, find feet inner hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and then root them, feeling the four corners of your feet on the ground. Turn your palms forward, reaching through fingertips. Lift up and open through your shoulders. And if it feels good, you can close your eyes here to take this pause, to notice your body in this space. And now softly open your eyes, settle your hips back, bending your knees. Reach your arms up overhead if that's comfortable. We're coming into this chair pose. A little bit of work here for just a moment. As you shift a little weight into your heels, also push your toes down. Full big breath. Exhale and fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Plant fingertips, use blocks if you'd like. Step your right foot back into your lunge. And then as you center with your hips, bring your hands up to your hips to rise. Back knee can always be on the ground here for your lunges. That's always an option. As you press down with your hands into your hips, lengthen from hip to armpit, draw shoulder blades onto your back. And now if you'd like, you can take gratitude here, finding that opening through the chest, the shoulder blades engaging. Take a full, big, deep breath. Good, exhale, hands come down to the front of your mat and walk your hands to the inside, and we're going to pivot on our feet. You can always have your blocks here to help you. Find a wide stance fold facing the right side. From here, look at your feet and notice the outside edges of your feet coming to parallel. So you might have to walk your heels out a little bit for that. Send sitting bones up as you keep a little bend to your knees. And then as you exhale, you're going to fold as deeply as your body needs. Maybe you set hands or forearms on something here. Take a couple big breaths. And as you take your breaths, if you'd like, you can bend one knee at a time here, getting a little bit more awakening through the hamstrings, through the backs of the legs, maybe a little bit more awakening through the hips. Inhale, lengthen part way, extend your heart. Exhale, we're turning toward the front of our mat again. And then this time step forward. Find your way to your forward fold at the front of your mat. Take an inhale and lengthen part way, long spine. Exhale, fold over your legs. Bend your knees. Inhale, lift your heart up for your chair pose. And you can have arms straight up or arms in gratitude or hands at your hips. You decide. Take a full, big, deep breath. Send your sitting bones back. And then engage the glutes. Engage the low ribs. Exhale and fold over your legs. Plant fingertips. You're stepping left foot back this time into your lunge. Bring hands up to your hips and rise. Find that centering action and settle in as deeply as your body is ready for. And then gratitude again here if you would like. Take a full, big, deep breath. As you take another moment to notice the details here, let your breath be full and even. Exhaling, hands come down to the front of your mat, and we're going to take that pivot again, turning on our feet to that wide stance fold facing the left side. Look at the outside edges of your feet. This time, heart moves forward, lift and spread your toes, lift your arches, and then set your toes down, but you're trying to keep your arches active. Little bend to your knees, send your sitting bones up, and then maybe fold a little further. Your choice. Take a full, big, deep breath, keeping knees unlocked, keeping the pinky toe edges rooting down. If you'd like, you can close your eyes here to take that pause to notice what is it that's showing up in your body right now. Inhale, extend your heart. Exhale, you're turning on your feet. Find that pivot again and then step forward into your fold. Inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. And now bend your knees. Inhale, lift up into your chair pose. Little work this Monday morning, right? Settle sitting bones back. Lift your heart. Engage the core. Good, okay, exhale, hands all the way down, fold over your legs. Hands to hips now, press back on hips. Lift shoulders and elbows and rise all the way up to stand. Okay, feet inner hip bone distance apart and parallel now. Turn your palms forward, lift up and open through the shoulders. Close your eyes, take a full breath. Good, okay, softly open your eyes. And now we'll take a balancing pose. So if you want to come over toward a wall, you can, or a chair, whatever you happen to have. But find your balance onto your right foot, and then turn your left toes sideways. Your knee is turning out. Before you pick your foot up anywhere for a tree pose, we're going to open this up a little further. So a little bend to your standing knee. You're squeezing your standing glute and pushing into the floor. Now, left hand comes to your thigh on the left side, right hand to your shoulder. And now take the knee and the shoulder away from each other into that more open place here for the hips and the chest. And now you're welcome to set your foot on the side of your leg. You can always pick it up and put it up above the knee here, or you can keep that kickstand. That's one of my favorites. Take a big deep breath, lift your chest up higher, push down into the ground. And then if you want to, you can stretch up. Full deep inhales and exhales. Take a moment to notice the details of this place, this space in your tree pose. Soft but full breath. And exhale, hands come to your heart. Your foot comes back to the ground and pause to feel both feet on the ground. And now shifting your weight to your left foot, turn your right toes sideways. And again, before you go anywhere with your foot, squeeze the standing glute, bend your knee and push into the floor to stand taller. And now open up opposite knee and shoulder. Now bring your foot wherever you would like it to be for your tree. Again, it can be low, below the knee, high above the knee, or a kickstand. And then stretch up if you would like. Take a full, big, deep breath. Notice this side. Notice what's there for sensation. Maybe what's there for something like wobble, right? We're balancing on one foot, so of course there's wobble. One more big breath. And exhale, hands come to your heart. Your foot comes back to the ground. And then again, pause and notice the four corners of both feet on the ground. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bent knees to fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Plant hands and step all the way back to hands and knees or downward facing dog pose, whichever feels the best in your body today. Deep breath as you send your sitting bones up. And from your lats, push out through your hands. Think of that space just a little further up your back towards your hips. And now if they're not already, go ahead and bring knees down, hips to heels, take a child's pose. And in this child's pose, this is your chance to recognize now what's going on in your body. And then bring yourself all the way up to your seat, come down to sitting bones. And we're going to extend right leg forward, left foot into the side of your leg, into this Janu Shirsasana, or head to knee pose. So move your sitting bones, move them back and broad. And if sitting on a blanket would be easier for that tilted pelvis to happen, then please do. But belly tilts a little bit forward, and then we're turning our ribs more toward our right foot. Engage your feet, and if you have any tension through the hip, especially on the left side, feel free to set something underneath the knee here for a little support. Now, as you inhale and lift up taller through your sides, turn even more, a little bit more with your belly and your ribs towards your right foot, and then reach across with your left hand to the outside of your leg. You can always work your hand down toward the outside of your foot if you want, but take a moment to find where it feels the most open and spacious in your body here. Full big deep inhale, expand more through your sides. Long, full exhale. Notice here whatever is showing up in your body for sensation. And then inhale, rise all the way back up. And now we're going to open this up a little wider. So we're going to take the right foot out to the right side. And you can change the foot from a flex to more of a flexed point here if you would like. Sometimes that just makes it more comfortable. But move your sitting bones, move them back and broad. Again, you can always be sitting on something or have a prop underneath your knee. And then engage your feet. As you push down with your heel on your right leg, think of pulling your toes back towards your knee. Press your right fingertips down inside your right leg. Take your left hand to your hip and begin to turn your belly and your heart more toward the left. Put both shoulder blades on your back, and then if it feels good, you can stretch left arm up and over the ear. If it's better to take something more like a gratitude arm instead, you're welcome to, or a cactus. You decide how that looks, how that feels, and notice. If you have to move and round through the upper back in order to put the arm by the ear, maybe take a different position. Take a big inhale, grow longer through your spine. Exhale, maybe you're walking your fingertips down the inside of your leg towards your foot. Maybe you're staying up high. Big breath. Inhale, rise all the way back up. And switch legs, left leg straight ahead, right foot into the side of your leg. So this is our seated version of our tree pose, basically. Move your sitting bones. And again, prop as you need to. I like it underneath my knee, but sometimes it's good underneath the sitting bones to help you find that tilt of your belly forward. And then press down with fingertips, lift up through your sides, and begin to turn your ribs more toward your left foot. Reach across with your right hand to the outside of your left leg. Take a big inhale and sit even taller. Exhale, if you'd like, you can start to walk your hand down your leg towards your foot or stay somewhere in between. You do not have to take your foot. That's not where enlightenment is. So find where that is, where you can be the most open and spacious. Take a full big breath. Inhale, rise all the way back up. And now we're taking that wider stance. And again, I like to switch this foot to more of a flexed point or a Barbie doll foot, but whichever feels the most comfortable in your body. And then press your heel down, move your sitting bones, and then bring left fingertips inside your left leg. Right hand to your hip. And then as you push down, lift up taller, begin to turn your belly a little bit more to the right. Shoulder blades engage. We're staying this open through our torso to take whatever variation with your arm feels the best in your body. Gratitude might feel good, a cactus, or all the way over your ear, your choice. Take a big deep breath. Maybe you're walking your fingertips further down the inside of your leg toward your foot. Maybe you're staying more upright. Deep breath. Then inhale, rise all the way back up. And we're bringing both feet to the floor in front of us. And we're going to make our way all the way down onto our backs. And from your back, make sure you have props handy. Oops, dropping things. And knees draw in, and they can be closed or open here, wide or narrow. Hug them in as close as is comfortable, and then add some of those rocks, a little side to side. And now extend left leg all the way out against the ground. Bring your right foot into the side of your leg. So here's our reclined variation of our tree pose. Make your left foot active. Reach your arms. You might be setting something underneath your knee here because it depends on the position of your body, I find, that will affect how the hip feels. So take a big deep breath with this opening of the hip, with this length through your front body. And now we're going to take the leg across the body, knee bent still. So right leg to the left side. You can set your foot to rest against your leg, your other leg here if you want. Take a big deep breath, coming to that place where both shoulders are down on the ground. And then maybe open the right arm up. Deep inhale and exhale in this spinal twist. And now come on back to center and extend your leg all the way out. Right leg extends, left foot into the side of your leg. And again, prop if you would like. It's always okay to have it feel and look a little different than the other side because we're not symmetrical. Maybe stretch overhead if that feels good, and take a big deep breath. And then knee back up to center, and we're taking it across the body to the right side, to the place where your left shoulder can still be on the ground. And then you can extend your left arm or turn your gaze if you'd like. Take a deep breath. And then as you come back into center now, you're setting yourself up into your most comfortable version of a rest. So feel free to set a prop underneath your legs. Feel free to set a blanket or a prop over your hips and belly. Come to what feels the best in your body to settle into Shavasana for a few moments. Begin to take a deeper breath. Begin to gently move through fingers and through toes. As you're ready to bend your knees and roll to your side. And slowly press yourself back up to your seat. with hands connecting at heart center. Take another moment in time to pause, notice, be aware of your body in this space. Have a very peaceful, very beautiful day. Have a wonderful week. Namaste.